An explosion at a nuclear facility in Marcoule in southern France has left one person dead and 4 people injured. Officials earlier warned of a possible radiation leak, but say no emissions have been detected. Well, let's cross now live to Paris to talk more on this with journalist Moe Seager. Thanks very much indeed for being with us here on RT. Now, as we've seen with the Fukushima disaster, authorities downplayed the scale of the disaster at the start. Now, what do you make of the French authorities' delay in declaring this accident? I understand it took some hours before they said anything.
Yes. Well, it's typical of all the governments and industry right now that are running nuclear energy for domestic consumption to play down the severity of accidents. One, because they don't want a public panic, and two, they're playing a hide-and-seek game about the actual costs and the damage of the radiation and the exposure to the communities surrounding the accident.
Well, but this is the first recorded death at a nuclear facility in France in 50 years. Considering nuclear power provides the vast majority of France's energy, there really is little to fear, isn't there? And they are actually saying there is not a risk, there is no nuclear or radiation leakage.
Well, I'll tell you what, the records show that in the 59 nuclear plants that France operates currently, since 1969, there has been 41 nuclear accidents and 51 nuclear incidents reported officially. So let's dispense and dispel with the talk about this is a safe, well-regulated, well-managed industry, because the facts speak differently. We have a Green Party in France who's suffered so many mass defections because it's got partial funding from the Socialist Party. What am I trying to say? That the so-called opposition to environmental mismanagement is in the pockets, has been subsidized by a political party, so they help whitewash the nature of the incidents. So the French people, I'm sorry to say, have gotten a very, very restricted and limited amount of information about nuclear accidents, nuclear incidents.
So would this, sorry to interrupt, but would this, just quickly asking you, I haven't got a lot of time, would this, though, have, therefore, an impact on the perception of nuclear energy amongst the French public now?
Well, since Fukushima, the French public has woken up recently and decided that maybe nuclear energy is not safe, that it can be dangerous, that it is vulnerable, that is catastrophic. You know, a plant can go from an energy plant to a weapon of mass destruction. If one looks at the damage and the ongoing damage caused by previous nuclear accidents in various countries. So, you know, in answer to your question, the French public is waking up, but right now there is no mass movement and no organized oppositional leadership to confront the government and this EDF, this electric defense. You know what this is? It shows my bill increasing every 2 years, when nuclear energy was supposed to, in the beginning, also to be very affordable. And here is France, the #1 supplier, exporter of electricity to the world, who currently has signed a contract with Libya to build a nuclear plant and signed an agreement to build the biggest nuclear plant in the world in India, with a record on its home soil of 14 accidents and 51 incidents.
Well, just very briefly before we finish, something like 75% of energy needs come from nuclear power stations there in France. It's going to take a long time to develop alternatives, and of course money, Mo, the economy. There is no other cheap, affordable way of providing electricity, so surely it's there to stay, isn't it?
No, it doesn't have to stay. Right now, 78.8% of all electricity generated in France is generated by nuclear power. All right. There is a way out, and the way out is for a compromise on consumers as well, to accept true research, true development into solar and wind and other sustainable forms of energy. We can't have a quick fix, but if we continue right now, the way that management and storage of nuclear waste alone is going, we will have fouled the oceans, the rivers, and the planet, which is currently going on at this point.
Yep.
And this is essentially an energy of mass destruction right now.
Okay, Mo, I wish we had more time. Time is indeed upon us.
There is a way out.
OK, great to hear what you have to say. Thank you very much indeed. Moe Seager there, joining us live there in Paris. Good to hear what you have to say. Thank you.
Merci.